Hello, everybody. My name is Joshua Holmes. I think in this current generation, one of the things that a lot of people get really excited about is becoming famous or becoming someone known to the world, someone that makes a difference. Oftentimes it gets convoluted with just wanting to have many followers on Instagram or social media or whatever, or having a group of people, that are loyal followers of your subscribers or whatever. At the heart of it is that we're longing to feel loved. We're longing to be seen. We want somehow to get something from others that would be in the form of the fame that we garner or the loyalty of followers. And at the heart of that, it's not actually an awful motivation or anything. Sometimes it's deemed as this negative idea, but it's actually quite natural. We all are designed to be someone special. We're all designed to make a difference. We all long to make a difference. That's why we glorify these people who have done so in the world. Take Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Gandhi. All these individuals, we glorify them. We put their faces and quotes on these pictures. We put them up on our walls. Why? Because they're people who access that. They were able to make a difference in their life, and that's super cool. That's what stimulates us, it excites us. So it's not a bad motivation necessarily. However, oftentimes when it comes to life, if you believe in a satanic force or you believe in some kind of influence over us or just negative energy of some nature, that these good motivations are then sort of skewed a little bit, skewed in the direction that becomes about me. In other words, selfish. It becomes not about actually making a difference for the world. It's about wanting to just receive something from the world. It's not about wanting to inspire a generation or a group of followers. It's about what I can gain from these followers, what I can gain from these generations of people, and how I can somehow be placed on a pedestal higher than others. We desire this, but then it skews. It is even 1 degree off. So someone once told me, and they drew on a napkin for me like this. They drew on a napkin in some cafe. They drew this line. They said, okay, here is what God wants you to reach. Here is what your heart longs to see, a difference in the world. But when we aim for that, it can be like a straight line to get there, and it's a journey. However, oftentimes we're 1 degree off. And even at 1 degree, it looks like for the first few years or for the first few months, it's fine. It's just you're a little bit off. But over the course of time, as you continue to be motivated more by the selfish desire of receiving something, of wanting something rather than giving something, then that gap from where you wanted to get to slowly increases. Just 1 degree off leads us way in a different direction. And so you see extreme examples of this in people who are pursuing fame or people who have been known for doing good things. And then over time, they get exposed or something shows and they make a decision that is truly selfish. And then the world sees it and says, what the heck? And they totally tear these people apart. Well, that's just a result of them being 1 degree off from the beginning. So when it comes to our life, it is incredibly important that we have the proper alignment from the get-go. And this is then a matter of character. It's a matter of who you are, because that is providing your alignment. And then who it is that you're longing to become and what example you're following is hugely important. So when it comes, what it boils down to is your internal self, your internal nature, or your character, your maturity as an individual. In our community here, Pure Water Movement, we believe that Father and Mother Moon were called and sent by God for the purpose of restoring families and ourselves on the foundation of Jesus Christ. Well, what they would often teach is that we need to have mind and body unity. That to make sure we're not a degree off, we have to have our mind and body in unity centered upon a higher purpose. In this sense, I could say God. I could also say for the sake of helping and actually helping the world. And then our mind and body come into oneness, meaning that my body has desires, but they are not priority over what my heart desires. My heart has desires, but it's living in harmony with what my body needs. So mind-body unity, oftentimes we think of these Zen masters at the top of the mountain who are at a point of nirvana or some tranquility. But actually mind-body unity is in the day-to-day. That's a high example, high-level example. But the day-to-day is, okay, do I wake up and is the first thing I do, take out my phone and just scroll? And what do you call it? Doom scroll social media. Well, now your body's desires have trumped over your heart's desires. And your heart's desires is based off your conscience, which is to begin the day well. Maybe that's starting with prayer. Maybe that's opening up a book and reading for a moment. Maybe that's even just taking a shower, because some of us need to take showers in the morning and actually prepare ourselves well to look good and present ourselves well for the world. Maybe that's studying first thing in the morning. But instead, we doom scroll. Boom. And now my body's desires are way over my heart's desires, my conscience's desires. That could be your day-to-day life. It also translates in relationships. I'm married. I have a wife. She's amazing. She's the most incredible person, and we stand together. If she could be here right now, she'd be right here. Right? This is Takai and I, my wife and I, we are incredibly close. But there's times where it gets really tense in the family, and we have to decide, whether I will move by my body's desires or my conscience, my heart's desire. My heart desires to take care of her. My heart desires to serve her. My heart desires to wash those dishes even though I don't want to do them. My heart desires to because it would make it better for others. Again, higher purpose. Your heart is desiring this higher purpose, then your body will follow. Or I could just get frustrated and angry and lay down, and then again, oftentimes we take out our phone, put in our headphones, and just try to blur out the world, blur out our relationships. But if we put our mind over our body and they come into unity centered on a higher purpose, then we close this gap of 1 degree off, and we're able to live our life in the best way possible. And the best example of this is those who put God at the center of their life. If me as an individual, I place God at the center of my life, then my mind and God are one, and they're coming into oneness, and my body harmoniously comes along, then I become a righteous person. I become someone that the world can really look up to. Because when we have God at the center, we naturally are filled with the same qualities that God has. And the qualities that God has is unconditional, unique, eternal, and unchanging. These sorts of qualities that God has, that's what we engraft onto when God becomes a priority in our life. Center on God, then our mind and our body harmonize, and we become a mature individual that can stand and walk with that same quality of uniqueness, eternalness, incredible, just high quality person for the world. That's who you're seeing when you think of Martin Luther King Jr., Gandhi, and others. And that's who you can become. So you want fame, you want fortune, you want to be seen by the world. And maybe your motivation is really for the sake of yourself. And I'm suggesting that we can change that. And we change that by placing God at the center. And you start to not want that from the world. You start to want to give to the world in an amazing way. And yes, when you do that, you will get the fame and the fortune. And all those good things will come. But it starts with our self-denial, our self-sacrifice, and giving like God would give. Giving like God would give. Thank you.